Hey, it's Ricky from All Sorts of Words, and I've been on YouTube for 1 month. A month ago, I committed to doing 2 videos a week, comic book related content, engaging here on YouTube, and everything is new. I'm doing everything for the first time, and I'm learning a lot of stuff. And so I wanted to kind of pass some hard-learned truths onto some individuals who might be considering starting a YouTube channel and getting over the initial humps that I definitely felt, and I'm anticipating they would feel too. So if you're a long-time content watcher but not a long-time content creator, I think this will be helpful for you. If not, you can ignore me because I've only been doing this for a month, so what the hell do I know? Also, at the end of the video, I'm going to throw in some comics because I hate comic channels that don't talk about or display comics. And this is a little bit of a meta video in that I want to talk about how to do this and how weird this is, while also showing off some comics that a fellow creator asked to see. So ObitoComics, who's been shouted out like 4 times in this channel because he's been so influential for me getting started, asked to see my Green Lantern stuff. I will show him and you all every Green Lantern book I have access to, and I will explain why I had to put it that way. Number one thing that new YouTubers will encounter is a weird technology hurdle I didn't anticipate. My initial thoughts about building a channel were like, I need a camera and a microphone. I wanted a nice I'm going to show it. Maybe it'll mess up the sound. But this is a nicer microphone. I got it off Amazon. It was like $300. It was off the recommendation of my brother-in-law, who is a video editor. Like, he literally does for employment what other YouTubers pay people to do for them. This is his bread and butter. So arrogantly, I kind of ran off on my own after getting his initial advice on this microphone. And I've been doing my own thing ever since, learning as I go. That's what I wanted to talk about. The learning as you go in regards to technology is a little anxiety inducing. Like, I'd never set up a microphone before. I've never edited a video before. And so learning how to do it is a little stressful. Am I doing it right? Am I just emulating other creators that I've admired too much? Is that a bad thing? So I can emulate them while I learn my own style. That's where I'm at right now. I'm still emulating what I like to see. And I don't even know if I'm being my authentic editing self yet, but I'm still learning how to use iMovie. That's what I use, by the way. Everything you see that's been on this channel so far has been shot on an iPhone 14 Pro Max and has been with this type of microphone. I'll include a picture of it from the Amazon store that I bought it from, and a cable, which I will also include, and a rubber neck kind of stand that I've attached to the back of my desk. I'll include a picture of that too, but when I work all week, this is what my setup is. And when I record, the camera is sitting where you see it right now. I'm getting faster at editing, which means I get fatigued less. So even though I just know the same tricks that I've picked up through editing, I'm getting faster at doing it, so I get less fatigue when I'm editing. So the same hour of editing I did before in my earlier videos is taking me less time to get that same result now. So you do get to see improvement pretty rapidly, but it requires you to make some pretty cringy looking videos. It requires you to edit in a way that you're familiar with because you're learning that language yourself, if that makes sense. So be prepared when you're getting into this hobby of making YouTube videos that the technology curve is a real thing, and the nerves you're feeling and the anxiety of navigating these different softwares is completely normal. Trust me. 2, if you've watched YouTube in the comic book space for longer than 5 minutes, you hear the words comic book community and super nice all the time. Yes. And it's true. Everyone that is in this space is just, they're so supportive and kind and engaging. And so a second piece of advice I'd want to give is reach out to everybody. I've had people with 20 subscribers get back to me and want to do content. I've had people who have 500 subscribers compliment my channel and say really nice things about my editing style and like, hey, this is what I'm looking to do. So you're doing a great job. And they've got like literally 70 times the user base that I have. And then I've had people with 24,000 subscribers write back to me and say, hey, great video. Keep up the awesome work. I'm never too big to engage, because that's one of the things I said. This guy's too big to engage with me. And he proved me all the way wrong. So if you're looking to ingratiate yourself into the community, I'm telling you, I went from 2 subscribers, my real account where I do my main YouTube watching, and my wife, to, as of today, I have 17, and there are only 3 people of those 17 who I know personally that went and subscribed. So that means 12 people in the world I've never met before saw my videos and subscribed. And that is just the coolest thing in the world. I'm so into that. And all of those 12 came from engaging with other YouTube channels, getting with the yik yaks and getting to know each other. And so I get to talk to people about comic books that are really cool. And the side effect is other people on the periphery get to enjoy that content as well. It's a neat time to be alive. And so this is the big one. This last thing that I learned, this is the one that is gonna sound the most esoteric, the most meta, but it's finding your authentic human geeky voice for this platform, this little box that I'm talking into right now. And that sounds so inauthentic of me. Like, wait, have you been performing this whole time? Well, kinda, yeah. That's how people interact with the world. Like, you don't talk to your mom the way that you talk to your girlfriend. You don't talk to your girlfriend the way that you talk to your boss. You don't talk to your boss the way that you talk to the boys. Those different versions of yourself, those different voices you use, they don't mean that any one of them is less real or inauthentic. It just means that you have different personas, different hats that you have to wear as you move about this life. You wouldn't talk to a client the way you'd talk to a waiter. I'm learning every time I sit in front of this camera how to communicate better, how to be more honest and lean into my quirks and weirdness without necessarily making it performative. That's the challenge, to make this entertaining and engaging while also being who I want to be and not having this feel like a burden. Listen, the whole reason I got into YouTube in the first place is because I have no one in my life to talk about comic books with. And I love them so much, and I love reading so much. And it's such a solipsistic, lonely hobby that I really want to engage more with these people that I've been watching videos of. And so I'm throwing my hat in the ring, effectively. But it is awkward. You are looking at yourself in a little tiny box. You're staring at yourself while you're editing, and you're talking to strangers. All things that ignite the panic centers of my brain. But the rewards I've been getting out of it, just 17 subscribers, the occasional comment, people doing shout outs, and the community coming together with like tag posts and stuff. I can't imagine not sticking around and seeing where this gets me. Before we get into the comics, like I promised, in summary, 1, be prepared for the technology hurdle. Understand exactly how you want to film and have a plan, because if you don't, you'll start to use that unfamiliarity as an excuse to not work. It's called the toolbox fallacy, where someone manufactures frustrations and roadblocks so that they don't have to do the thing that really scares them. So like, I want to build a shelf, but I can't because I don't have a toolbox. Here you go. Well, what I really need is a flathead screwdriver. It's in the toolbox. Oh, God. There it is. And so people put off the awkward task of making a shelf for the first time because they know it's going to be bad the first time. They know it's going to be tilted. They don't know what they're doing. They're going to get stressed out, sweaty. It's hot. And so all those things culminate into saying, like, I don't want to do it. But if you have a clear plan, this is the camera I'm going to use, this is how I'm going to set up my setup, and you just barrel through. If you get those things in place and you barrel through, you'll get more comfortable doing the technology stuff, and it will all just kind of start coming together. Like right now, I don't make any illusions that I'm going to be your next favorite YouTuber. I'm not there yet. But this basic nonsense of camera, microphone, setup, hey, now I'm getting my practice. Number 2, in brief, again, summary, reach out to other YouTubers. Connect with them. They're really nice. Connect with me. If you have any questions, issues, or if you just want to like talk about something, hey, what's your opinion on blah? Say it. I'll talk about it. I'll make a video. That's what we do here. And that's what they're doing for me because they're helpful and I want to be helpful too. And the last one, finding your own voice. Just be you. No one should be arrogant enough to think they're the only person like them on the planet. There are thousands and hundreds and millions of individuals that share common ground with you. And so the more authentic you are, the more you'll attract those people to yourself. And you can just start to have fun. This won't be so stressful. You don't feel like you have to wear a mask the whole time. You actually get to be a little bit more you. It's pretty liberating when you get to that point. Okay, enough of that stuff. I hope it's helpful, but whatever. Comic book channel, comic books. Obito wanted to see my Green Lanterns. So I'm going to show a very small stack of Green Lantern books. This is literally what is in my key comic book. I have 2 short boxes that I filled with just the heavy hitters, the raw heavy hitters, I should say. Why is it such a small stack when I love Green Lantern so much? Because the last time I got out of comics, I moved from Keene, New Hampshire, and I had to sell everything I had so that I could afford the move. Very different time in my life. And at the time, I was like, I want to say 4 issues deep into the New 52. This grand reboot of the DC universe where every single book was starting over at number 1. Clean slate. And I was really enjoying myself. I was having a great time. I know people look back on New 52 not so fondly, but I think there's more good than bad. And at the time, I was having a great time. Aquaman, fantastic. Flash, amazing. Grant Morrison's Action Comics run, yes, please. It was all so good that when I got back into comics in 2020, because of the pandemic, like everybody else, I wanted to start collecting the New 52, and I went a little too deep. I dug too deep, and I awoke something dark in my dwarven tomb. Now I have this closet. All of those green and pink boxes with the alternating lids are the New 52. I have about 85% of all of it. And after I collected all of the different sets, I laid them out on my floor and I went to comicbookreadingorder.com and I organized it issue by issue so I could read it in time and in continuity. I will talk about that another day and what a colossal waste of time that is. Because now that I've read the New 52, you definitely don't have to do all that. But the reason why my Green Lantern stack is so small is because Green Lantern Corps, Green Lantern New Guardians, Red Lanterns, Orange Lanterns, Sinestro, and the Justice League featuring Green Lantern, and Justice League America, which features Simon Baz. All of that is in that closet in New 52 in order. It's all broken up. In addition to all of that, I have all of Brightest Day and Blackest Night as well. The entire run in order. I have a huge run collection of DC. I've got everything major from the big players. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern. From Infinity Crisis all the way through New 52 and DC Rebirth. I have all of it. So what I'm showing today is just minus all of that. Starting real simple. Green Lantern Corps 1. Super cheap. First issue. Who cares? Tales of the Green Lantern Corps. These are just good stories. That's good stories, good art. You can find these for a few bucks. This is the first Sodom yet. Again, good stories. Same here. These are my key collectible. I see me hit my glasses. Did you see that? Ignore it. It's embarrassing. Green Lantern 48, first Kyle Rayner. I know, Obito, you have that one. First Kilowog. Obito's got this too. I don't know if you have this. This is Green Lantern 25. You need it. It's a cheap key relatively. It's like, I want to say 25, 30 bucks, but it has the cameo appearance of every colored lantern. So like Saint Walker, Larfleeze, Atrocitus. It's a huge splash page really early in the book. I'll put a picture, blibbity blobbity. Green Lantern 21. First appearance of Dr. Polaris, who predates Magneto. Not by much, if memory serves, but yeah, it's Magneto. Katmatui. She is significant because she is the replacement of Sinestro after he gets kicked out of the Green Lantern Corps for being a big old jerk. Green Lantern 29. This is the first appearance of Black Hand, William Hand. He is kind of like a B villain, just a rando guy that Green Lantern smacks around every now and then, but he is a significant part of Blackest Night. So if you like that storyline, which I do, although it has its problems, we'll talk about that one day, this is a key issue for that run. And then the big boy. This is the biggin. This is Green Lantern number 7. This is the first appearance of Sinestro. I got this for a screaming deal because it has an enormous hole in the cover, and it's like something rubbed on it and then rubbed up the sign and put 2 little holes there. When I got this book, I knew what those damages were, right? I knew. But I gotta tell you, this book, ooh, watch your ears. This is a solid copy. It is completely attached. Like, I know people are cringing right now because it's an old book, but like this is solid. The only issue is this like scraping along the cover. But if you're a character collector, if you're a story collector like me, who cares? You have the issue. But yeah, that's it. If any part of this was helpful to you, if any part of this was fun for you, thank you. You don't have to like the video or subscribe. If you do, it's helpful, and I'd love to have you stick around to see where this channel goes. But I promise I'm only going to get better.